So there's a lot of funny dialogue between Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and the Thor, and basically they discuss stuff. Because Thor, of course, wants to use Hulk as a weapon against Hela, which Bruce Banner is not okay with at all. And then we have the parade of the Hulk, like Hulk, Hulk, and everything's green. It's a very good stylistic choice, I must say. And after that, I have to say, there's this very cool shot, mirror shot, of Loki and Valkyria walking towards the Grandmaster, where it's almost like it's in the mirror. And basically, Grandmaster hires them both to find Hulk and bring him before them. But Valkyria captures Loki, and there's a lot of stuff how they begin this revolution, which of course Cork, the guy on the rock guy, always wanted to begin, and now they are part of it. So they want to go away from the planet, and basically Thor and Loki try to sneak onto the ship. And it's a very interesting scene where Loki is like, he always betrays Thor, and this is the case too. And Thor already knows that. So basically, he electrocutes Loki, and that was a bit hilarious, and yet I felt a bit sorry for Loki. After that, there's this chase scene which I felt really boring for me because I wasn't excited at any time during it. And it's of course again with this synthesizer sound, like this music. Oh my god, I hate it. But basically, there was this subplot that I forgot to describe where Handel stole the sword that Helen needed, and they were searching for it, and basically they... apparently, Thor is going with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and the Valkyria to basically fight Hela and restore balance in Asgard. And then basically Thor arrives at the palace of Hela, and we see him sitting on the throne where he really fits. Like, he fits more than Odin to me. Loki doesn't, Hela doesn't, and they start fighting, a very cool fight, I must say, while the Korg and Loki basically arrive on Asgard too. And there's this very cool moment where basically there's Hulk confronting the wolf and everything. Oh, first of all, Thor's eye gets chopped out of his, like, this eyeball. Thor's eyeball is pinned out of his eye, which is a very great scene, seeing how, it's sort of makes Thor, it's an unexpected event. You did not expect it, but now it really shows the stakes, but also makes Thor a much better hero than he was previously. So basically, after that, Loki arrives and he's like, "Your savior is here," which is typical Loki, and that's just hilarious. And then, they repeat the song from the beginning. Great song. An even better action sequence than in the beginning, with every character having something to do, and it all matching up with the lyrics and the rhythm of the song. Finally, the Asgardians are running onto the ship to evacuate from there, because Thor, when he sort of was nearly killed by Hela, he met his father, who said, like, Asgard is not the place, it's the people, which I really like, because I never liked Asgard, never mind how beautiful it looks. And after that, of course, they start flying away, but Hela turns out to be alive and sort of stops their ship. Thor and guys and everyone fight Hela again, and eventually Thor understands the big plot twist that Asgard had to be destroyed by the lava demon in the beginning for it to survive, because the people are the ones that matter. And the city If it's destroyed by the demon, then Hela will be destroyed too, but the people will still be alive and will be in, of course, in a full safe zone, and basically will live peacefully ever after. Which we know how it all ends, don't we, guys? I wished Thor knew that too. And then we have that best, like when they are starting to evacuate, there's this really funny scene, which I found funny, where basically Korg finds out that his friend is like, he thinks that he's dead and he's carrying him everywhere around his dead body because he's feeling guilty that he stepped on him. But it turns out he's alive, which was a really comedic element. Didn't need to be in the movie, but I'm glad it was. And after it, we have this very cool conclusion of just everyone being on the ship peacefully, Loki and Thor's dynamic finally ending and they settling as brothers, as allies, and Thor becoming the new sort of Asgardian ruler. Then we have the mid-credits scene in which Thanos' battleship arrives to capture the Asgardians, and oh my god, Infinity War, and it doesn't end good for them. But the Collector, oh, the Grandmaster, why am I suddenly speaking of him as the Collector? So basically, in the end credit scene, he was like, he's like, the revolution was great, and he's like, give a tap, because he's now like thrown out of his palace, just like Thor in the beginning, being surrounded by the scavengers and junk dealers, and that's a comedic scene too. So overall, Thor Ragnarok was definitely a movie that you need to see. And because it's one of my favorite, like, sort of Thor movies. Yeah, it is my favorite Thor movies, and it also is my favorite MCU movie because it's just something there that is so exotic, so adventurous, so wondrous, and so intriguing and interesting that you almost like feel like, many people say this is too similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, which I agree it kind of is, but it also combines the old elements again and makes a very unique story with great twists, great cinematography, great humor, and great ideas. I will give Thor Ragnarok an 8.9 out of 10. Oh, parenthesis out.